Hey guys, today I'm going to be telling the story of how I destroyed my arm. This is going to have some weird clickbait title, I can just know it. I just know it. This is a story of, I can't say break, that'd be a lie, but this is a story of what I did to my arm. So, I was at wrestling. I wrestle, if you don't know that. I was at a wrestling practice. It was some extra thing outside of the main season. So I wrestle folk style. So I was doing this Greco-Roman freestyle wrestling clinic. And my friend signed up for it, but he was not there that day. I was out the rest of the season after this day, and he was in the rest of the season after this day. So that was kind of ironic. But I was working with this freshman. I was in 7th grade at this time. I think he was either a freshman or a sophomore. I forget, but whatever. So he clearly overpowered me with strength and whatever. We really weren't going full 100%. We were just kind of trying out moves. But we were trying this one throw where you basically grab someone's arm and you do a 360 in midair. It was some weird move. I forget what it was called. It was like some sort of flip. So he does this flip on me and I just land on my arm. My arm was like backwards behind my back. Like, I don't remember the exact medical term. It was something like I hyperextended my rotator cuff or something along that line. I don't know if that's the exact medical term, but if you were somehow a doctor, let me know. But yeah, so my arm gets absolutely crushed, and I'm on the ground. Like, I see my arm just kind of flopping on the mat. I'm like, oh god, it's broken. Because I was in so much pain, I was like, oh god, it's broken. So I was freaking out, and my partner was just kind of looking at me like, bruh. Well, I ended up doing something to my arm, so I really don't care. But yeah, our coach kind of comes over, it's like, hey, are you okay? I'm sitting there holding back tears. I'm like, no, I need a trainer or someone. But this was a practice, so we didn't have a trainer. So there was like some sort of swim meet going on, but I didn't know that at the time. He's like, hey, go down this door. There was like this staircase that a door kind of blocked it off. It was kind of soundproof. I don't know why it needed to be soundproof, but it was. So I got in there and I just started yelling because I was in so much pain. But like, I was just on the ground, on my back, just sitting there yelling and screaming and moaning. Like, it was to that point where it felt like I was about to throw up. Like, have you ever been that way where you're in so much pain it feels like you're about to throw up? That was the pain I was in. And my dad walks in and he's like, hey, I saw you got hurt. You're fine. Get up and go. And I just look at him like, no, I'm not okay. I'm not fine. And I'm not just going to get up and go back with my arm. So he looks at me. He's like, just stop milking it. I never milk my injuries. Like, I will never milk an injury. I hate doing it. I feel bad about it. So I'm sitting there like, oh oh my god, this hurts. So I start to go down looking for a trainer. So I'm like, there's this nurse's office, because this is at a high school. So I go to like the nurse's office or something, and no one was in there because it was after school. It was like 6:30, so I didn't expect anyone to be in there. And I was right, no one was. But like, I don't know, I was like, I knew it was a long shot. Oh my gosh, my voice just cracked. I knew it was a long shot for someone to be in there. So I went back to the wrestling room. I was like, Dad, there's no trainer there. So we just kind of like, from the wrestling room I'm at is like on the second floor of a high school. And if you leave the wrestling room, there's like a hallway with like a ramp and a staircase. And there's a overlook to a pool. And we could hear like the whistles and the splashes from the pool, so we assumed there might be a trainer in there. So we kind of head through the locker room and was like, hey, we need a trainer. And I'm sitting there, my arm is weighing me down. And I'm like, I'm in pain. Help. Like, I knew it wasn't broken when I was able to just kind of like lift my shoulder. Like, it still hurt like balls, but I wasn't like about to die. And yeah, it's 12:30. Deal with it. I wasn't about to die, so I was like, okay, whatever. I thought I had dislocated it or like torn the muscle or something. But after that, I was kind of like, I don't like this. This sucks. So the trainer looked at it and was like, no, it's not dislocated. I'd go see like an actual doctor who could run like a test or something on it to see what's actually wrong with it. Like, I could just kind of confirm or deny stuff. So we're like, okay. So we leave practice. We leave like halfway through. And I had baseball pitching lessons right after practice. So my dad was like, alright, we are going to those lessons. They were expensive. I was like, Dad, hear me out. My arm is literally limp. I don't think I can throw a ball. But this goes in one ear and out the other with my dad. So, you know how it be. He's like, alright, we're gonna go play catch in the front yard just to kind of get your arm working again, because, yeah, that's logical. So we go in the front yard. I throw a ball. And I throw the ball. It was me holding a ball and just kind of swinging my arm in a motion that kind of looked like I was trying to throw, but I had no athletic ability. Imagine like a limp person, someone who just has like a complete limp arm, like raise their hand. That's basically what I did. Like, it just kind of rose and fell, and I threw it straight at the ground. And my dad was livid. I was near tears. I was like, what do you want me to do? I'm injured. It's obvious to see. So, after that, I went inside. I was icing it. And I was like, alright, get your shoes on. We're going to baseball practice. I was like, what? Should I grab my mitt? I was like, do you plan on throwing? I'm like, no. Like, okay. So he was kind of being cool about it. He's like, okay, whatever. So we go to practice. He's like, hey, my son just hurt himself at a wrestling practice. Is it okay if we just talk about stuff? He's like, yeah, that's fine. But we got there like 15 minutes early, so I was just sitting there. I was just pacing back and forth, like, oh, this hurts, in pain. So, you know how it be. So, I do this practice thing. I was like, okay, this is dumb. I don't like this. And we get home. It's like, what? It was like 9 o'clock at night. So I'm tired. I go right to bed. I cannot sleep because I'm in so much pain. So the next day, I skip school to go to the doctor. And the doctor's like, yeah, we can scan him, but we don't know which part hurts, like which part is actually injured. Because she touched in an area and it just sent a shock through my whole arm. So she gave me a sling. She was like, okay, don't go to school the next day. So I was out from school like for 2 days. I was like, okay, that's one upside. I missed 2 days of school. But this is 7th grade me, so my grades are absolute garbage. So my mom doesn't listen to the doctor, like, you're going to school, your grades are garbage. I was like, alright, yeah, fair enough. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So I go to school, and I'm in a sling. My teachers are like, alright, what happened? I was like, yeah, some, like, junior landed on my arm, and I hurt myself. And they just gave me this look, like, are you okay? Do we need... Like, they thought my parents were abusing me. I was like, no. Like, I got a decent yell at because I got hurt, but, you know, it wasn't abuse. And I was like, no, I'm not being abused, but whatever. And my teachers were just kind of giving me this weird look. My favorite teacher was like, we had this, like, weekend sharing. This happened over the weekend. So I walked in on Monday with a sling. I was like, guess what happened to me? Because during weekend review, every single day, I'm like, I got hurt. I just shared how I got hurt in gruesome detail. Oh, that happened. That's annoying. But I share what happened in gruesome detail. There was one where my dad accidentally punched me in the face trying to show me a wrestling move. That was fun, but, you know. I was like, every day, I was like, yeah, I got hurt again. So the entire class just looked at me like, seriously, again? How does this keep happening? So I was like, And this teacher, she was fired that year because there were not enough students. And I was like, really? How this is so sad. I was so disappointed she was fired. Dr. Dickin, you know who I'm talking about. I miss her. But yeah, she just gave me this look like, what happened? So I gave this entire story. Like, yeah, I basically died. Because I was like, yeah, it was not fun. But I was trying to, like, just cope with, like, oh my god, like, I don't know, my mom wanted, like, a UV scan. I was like, she was like, alright, if we don't know what's wrong, I want a full body scan. And then the doctor told her how expensive it was gonna be. And she's like, yeah, you're not worth it. She's like, stereo sanity, you're not even close to being worth it. So I'm like, yeah, I get it. My grades are shit. You don't have to bully me about it. But, like, my mom was kind of, like, hesitant to send me to the doctor. My dad was more supportive of it because he saw it happen. He knew kind of what was going down. And he's like, yeah, I'll take him to the doctor. So I was constantly making fun of my mom. I was like, every time I get hurt, you don't want to send me to the doctor because, oh, what if he's faking it? It's like, why? If I was faking it, I would not make you send me to the doctor. I would not bring it to that extent. You know, whatever. So the doctor was like, okay, yeah, it's just a hyperextension. Don't try to throw or it'll cause permanent damage. And I just looked at my dad. I was like, what? I asked her to repeat herself. Like, what did he say? Like, don't throw or it'll cause permanent damage. And I just give my dad this eyebrow-raising look. It was so... His face is like, oh, God, what the hell have I done? I was like, okay, that's what I thought you said, but I'm not sure. So, we go home. It's like, I'm in a sling for like a month. Like, it was good. But, yeah, that was the story of how my arm died. Goodbye.